Hello, my name is Angela Alec, and I'm an artist and giant flower maker. On this video, I will show you how to make 12-inch dahlia. That's what we're going to make in this video. So that's how it looks on the back with a little loop and on the front. Very beautiful. So, but before we start, I want to let you know that all my videos are certified, and everyone who download and purchase my video has no rights to share and no rights to resell it. Hope you obey the rules and respect artist's work, and let's don't make problems, not for you, not for me. Okay, so now I will start showing you what materials will be needed, and I will show you step by step the way I make it. In the future, you might find your way to do, but I will show you and teach you how I create flowers and the way I kind of find a way how to make them beautiful. So let's start it. Okay, so first of all, of course, it will be a foam flower. So we need a foam. You can purchase this kind of foam in any craft store. You know, they are pretty good, but I use them, but today we're going to use a different foam. Let me put it aside. We're going to use this foam. I purchased this 20 to 20-inch foam sheets from China. Price wise, they are probably more expensive than in the craft store, but I like because they are thinner and softer, and I like the way how to how they act during the work. But anyway, if you use either way, either foam, it will work. At the beginning, I would not recommend you to purchase very expensive foam. You can purchase, like, you know, the cheapest one while you're learning how. The way I will show you today, actually, it's not only for foam. You can make the same way with paper, but since I'm making a foam flowers, I will show how to make it from foam. Okay, so what we need, so we need foam. I'll put it aside. We would need like this round 6-inch cardboard. I purchased them because I make lots of flowers. I don't have time to cut them, but as one when you do it first time for yourself, you can very easily cut from any cardboard you have around your house, 6-inch round. How to cut round I will not explain in this video, but I don't think you need a big instruction how to cut the round foam board. You can use a plate, you can use I don't know, lead to make a circle and then cut it with a knife or scissors or whatever you will be doing. Okay, so next, of course, we would need a scissors should be very sharp. For example, I don't use this scissor for anything else. I cut only foam with this scissors. Even I have a mark right here, that this is only for foam. I don't cut anything else with the scissors. And once they are getting not that sharp, I just purchase another one. I have a scissor sharpener, but I didn't like how it worked. I just purchased another one. This one is actually not too expensive. I bought this in a Michael's store and they are like $9. I think, I don't remember exactly, I'm buying so many. But this one is actually not expensive. It's just pretty cheap scissors, but they work very well for foam. What is this? What it's I don't know if you can see the brand, but they are in the Michael store. I bought this one in the Michael store. Okay, next, of course, we would need glue gun, glue sticks, and also we would need a heat gun. This is important tool if you work with foam. If you do flowers with a paper, you don't need it, but for foam, this is very important tool. Heat gun. This is also very simple one. It has two, only two, like a low and high, like middle and high. You don't need a very fancy schmancy one, but also you can put. I purchased it in the Home Depot, but this is works pretty well for me. So what else? We would need a liner like this, you know, to measure, to make sure we're making a right size. We would need a rope like this. Also, I bought from some hardware store. I don't remember which one. So this is a rope for construction rope, and it's very kind of like a sturdy and work very well for making a loops. I will show you everything on the way. So, and also we would need a foam half bowl like this for center, but today I'm going to use this one because this foam, it's a larger size. I need like a 2 inches, and this one is a 3 inches foam bowl. So this is kind of big for a size that we're going to make today. So I have this plastic. Actually, these are plastic bolts, you know. So I divide them in half and paint it in pink because my flower is pink, and I'm going to use this one today because I don't have a right size foam bowl. But again, for centers, if you don't have right size, you can make even you can use anything like this that have this shape, you know. Even you can use aluminum foil, you know, and make it like a half bowl shape, and cover it with the foam. It will work too. So today I'm going to show you and tell you all my tricks and hacks that I learned through my long life, you know. I mean, like, through my experience of doing flowers. I make flowers like, I don't know, over 5 years as of today, and that's actually the main income for me for today, and I am not complaining. So if you learn how to make them, and if you will make a good quality, you will have a customers and they will come back to you. Okay, I don't want to talk too much because I can talk forever. So I will turn camera to the table, and I will start I will start making a flower, and will explain through my work what I'm doing and how I'm doing. You will see it. Okay, I already pre-made something, and I probably will speed up some part of it so it won't be too long, but basically okay, let's start it and then we will go from there. Okay, alrighty, so I am turning to the table so you can see my hands. Looks like you would be able to see pretty well. So this is a cardboard that prepared. This will be a base. So about the base, this cardboard is 6 inch. You know, that's liner helps. So 6 inch. Okay, how I can do it so you can see that 6 inch. Okay, this is a 6 inch cardboard. How to choose right size? For example, if your flower is 12 inch, well, that's what we are doing today. Your base, this is a base for a flower, should be 2/4 of a size. So 12, we divide for like 4, it will be 3 inches, right? And 3 inch and 3 inch, 6 inch, right? So that's how you calculate to any size. We will do today a 12 inch, but you can calculate this way. I will show you how to make a smaller or bigger. So how to calculate to make a right size. So for 12 inch, we need a half of a size of a flower, or 2/4, you know, but just don't make it complicated. Let's say half of a size of flower. If your flower 12 inch, that means base should be 6 inch. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making a loop. That's where I use this rope from a hardware store. What I do, I am making a loop. So I will put my hands closer so you can see if you never made a loop, so you will know how. So see, this is, I took about 6 inch, I think. I divided in 2, and I'm making a loop like this. So you will figure out how. I think everybody knows, but just in case, I'm showing how. Okay, I think my camera a little bit too far. Okay, that's the loop. And we need this part. We need this part. And I'm going to cut this little. So that's the loop. Okay. And yeah, my glue gun is already turned on. So now we don't need this anymore. We can put it aside. Okay. What else we need? We need a little piece of any piece of fabric. So I'm cutting a little piece of fabric. Normally I don't do that, but you know, I don't want to put a bunch of scissors on the table right now. So it should not be perfect. See, it is not very straight, but that's okay. So on usually I'm trying to leave a nice side. All this board will be covered with foam. That's how I do it. You can do it your way, but I cover it with foam. So what I'm going to do, I put that, now I want you to see better. I put it like this, so this loop would be out like this, and this part where the I tied the loop would be right here. So let me show you from this part. So the loop should be like this, so it will be hangable. At least your fingers should get inside very easily. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put hot glue. Pretty well amount. And now I put this fabric on top of it. Be careful, everything is, when you work with the foam and you do foam flowers, it's a lots of hot things that you will be using. Okay, so okay, so look a little bit ugly, but this everything will be covered, as I said. Okay, so that's how. The first thing we're going to do is attach the loop. It's important because loop should also, I like when loop looks beautiful. So that's how it's going to be at the end. See, that loop will be just beautifully showing out. Okay, so to make things faster, I already pre-done some. So if you see, I cover this part. I cover this part with the cut-offs of foam. You don't need to do it. You can cut the same size round foam and just glue it here. But since I have so many pre-cuts leftovers, so I'm trying to use it because foam is expensive material, and I use this pre-cuts for this part. It will be all covered won't be visible. And also, I know many flower maker, they don't do it, but I do because I prefer to cover, to give more strength to a base, because this is like a foundation for a house. This is foundation for a future flower. Next, you need to cut a round that is like a 1 inch larger than the base. Basically what I do, I put this base and just with a pen, like a pencil, I, you know, just with my hands, for my eye, I don't do it exactly 1 inch around, but it should be pretty close to, the more perfect way you do it, then easier will be working with it. But this will go to this side, it will cover this nice side, so it will be here, okay, like this. Okay, so that's, I am building a foundation for a flower right now. So and let me attach it to. So I put glue right here on this side very quickly, because this hot glue dries very fast. And trying to put on the middle like this, okay, and it dries pretty fast, so I don't have to be worried about, waiting. Sometimes when I have time, I just glue it with PVA glue. So, but it's okay to any glue you use, that is handy. So all we need to attach this part to the base, okay. Now, important part, do you see where the loop? So I am making, let me just do it like this, I'm making a cut right in the middle like this, and here and here, and all the way around. Every cut I do about 1 inch, every cut about 1 inch, okay. If you are a maker, that's the way you cover some round surfaces, okay. So here you go, we have like this a little sunflower. So now why this cut is right here, because I'm going to glue this edges like this, and this loop will be outside. See how smaller it becomes? That's why make sure your loop is a good size right now, because of this foam and all these materials, this loop's getting smaller. So make sure you have enough, your loop is long enough. So that's how it will be on the back and on the front, okay. Now I will start gluing them, okay. So basically what I do, making sure I did not glue my loop because it should be outside, I put a little bit of glue and keeping my loop out of, see, I'm holding a loop, making sure it's not glued inside, and like this, okay. And all the way around. I'm doing it fast, but you might be, it will take probably a little longer for you to do, but that's okay, that's how we learn. Don't try to be fast, try to be good, because I'm always telling to my students, don't try to be fast, because quality is the number one. Once you start making a very good quality flowers, speed will come through the time, okay. And also, see, to glue, it takes a little while, because foam to foam, it's actually glues pretty well, but you need to hold it. So that's why while I am putting glue right here on the next one, I'm holding with my finger the previous one, and I'm going so on. I'm holding it. At the beginning, you can just wait for a few seconds while it's attached, will be attached to the base, but um you know, as I said, I'm showing you the way I do, and I'm telling you my tricks how to make it faster, because when you do flowers to order, people expect you to people expect to receive them as fast as possible, and very often people order flowers when it's a last minute. So that's the base that we created. Now we're going to attach our petals to this base. Now this base is well covered, nice. See, that would be back of a flower, and it will be nice and pretty. This part will be covered. This will not be visible at all. So that's why some, as I said, some flower maker, they don't do it. They just use a cardboard, like a plain cardboard. But I like my flower look nice from anywhere. So that's what I do. Okay, now we're going to start making a center. So for center, we need to make a center. That's what we're going to, that's what we made right now. We made this back of a flower. Now we're going to make this center, this beautiful center, and I will show you how to do it. Everything is doable, just need to start in doing it. Okay, that's what I said, that I have a half bowl and I painted it in pink. If, or you can cover it with the foam, it's up to you, but I painted it this time because I think it will be looking pretty nice. Okay, I painted with a matching color. So now I already have this pre-cuts. I pre-cut them, you know, before, because I don't want to, it takes pretty long time, but I will show you how I make them. So I have this little, you know, because I don't know if I will use it or not. So this is like a 2 inches in wide, and it should, you know, see, that's, I have a longer one. I usually use you know, cut-offs for this part. You know, I cut petals, and I use cut-offs for, you know, kind of leftovers for this part. So let's start it with this, not very straight. I will try to show you closer so you will see how I cut them. Okay, how to sit, so you can okay, maybe like this. So what I do, I am going to cut a zigzag in the middle. So I flip and cut another way, and flip, and right here, and flip, and right here. So do you see? I cut zigzag in the middle like this. So this is my another trick. So basically, instead of cutting the zigzag just like this and having a bunch of small cut-offs, we're going to have no cut-offs, and we basically will have two this fluffy center things. Okay, so I'm flipping and cut, and this is of course long process, but I want you to see how I do it. Okay, so, and try to make this cut in one, not like cutting like a many times, because this way you will have bunch of fluffy edges. Actually, the hard part with the foam or paper you're cutting is to or if you're sewing something, it's to make a nice straight cuts. But this is all comes with experience, but it's doable. It's not very hard to do, but you know, in my experience, I had students who was just not able to make a straight cut at all. Just their hands doesn't work this way. But you know, so that's why I gave them to do something that they can learn making a cuts. So try to make a one cut, you know, like a one cut. You just put your scissors, you know where it will be the end, and cut it. Again, you put your scissors, make sure the end would be not, you will not cut all the way, you know, so your scissors will be end, see right here, like a 1/4 inch to the end, and cut, and just keep going. Okay. This is a short one, and so it didn't take me too long to do, but see now, kind of we have two instead of one and bunch of cutoffs. This is my another trick and hack. So we have this pre-cut um, hair for the center. So now what we're gonna do, we're going to use heat gun. I will probably put my camera a little upper so you will see. I will turn off. Okay, I think you will be able to see. So now what I'm going to do, very slightly, see it's getting curly, and I be careful because heat gun is, it's a heat gun. It blows with a hot air. Okay, so be careful with your hands. So if you can work with heat protection gloves, would be awesome. I can. I tried, and you know it didn't work for me at all. I just need to feel what I'm doing. You know, I couldn't. See, it's getting like this curves. Okay, so I'm going to do all of them. And I'm let them get this curve the way they want. You know, I'm not controlling it because in nature, also does own way. So that's exactly what I do here. I don't really try to control it, and I let it go the way they want. But still, I'm making sure I did not burn it. So foam is actually can burn very easily, but you will learn. I cannot show you this part like on the video because it's hard to do, but foam can burn, you know, and so that's why make sure you are not too close and you're not holding foam on the heat for too long, because it will burn. It's like a plastic, you know. It's like a plastic bag. If you put plastic bag in a heat, it will burn, right? That's the same way foam acts. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. This part is done. So let me flip again to my hands. Now I might need more glue very soon. So what I'm going to do now, my first layer, I put that the curves get looking inside like this. They will be looking inside. Okay, so again, very carefully, because it's hot glue, and honestly my hands all burned with glue and a heat gun. I have lots of burned spots on my hands, but you know, I survived. And very carefully on the very edge, so your edge will be nice and even. So like this. And again, I'm holding with my fingers because it doesn't glue that fast. It takes few minutes, so that's why I'm holding with my fingers until it's kind of glued to each other, stick to where I want it would be. Okay, alrighty, let me show you. See, this edge is nice and even. That's important part. So you, even if it's a foam, it will be foam, it's still, you need to glue right on the edge. Okay, this is the first layer. This is not, it's just the beginning. We're going to put second layer that also will be looking inside. If it's not looking inside, we will make it look inside. Okay, or let's take another one. Let's take another one that's more curvy. So what I want to say, it should be 2 layers. You can keep 1 layer, but 1 layer is not pretty. 2 layers, it's giving this beautiful fluffy look. Okay, so I need to recharge my glue gun. Okay, so again, I'm putting a glue in the very edge like this. Hopefully you can see it, and then carefully, gently wrapping around this pre-cuts. Okay, again like this. If it's overlapping for a 3rd layer, that's okay. And also important part, when you're choosing a middle, make sure if it's a 12-inch flower, for example, it should not be, the center should not be more than 2 inch, because adding this kind of decoration and building a center, it adds another almost inch, like a half inch on each side, so it will be like another 1 inch. You don't want the center will be too large, you know, so it should be kind of balanced. So now we have 2 layers, and we're going to do, now I'm going to glue that will look this way. So basically this curves, see this curves, I glue first this way, and this one I'm flipping and gluing it like a opposite direction. See how beautiful it's turning? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. So we made the base, we're making a flower. So I wanted to say at the beginning, I wanted to recommend you first, before you start making it, watch the video, because once you download it, you can come back and watch this video over and over. But first time, watch it. Watch all the way, prepare on all materials you need. Make sure that you have everything you need to start building a flower, and then you can come back to this video and then pause anytime, pause at any time if you through your work. Okay, and again, don't expect, you might be lucky and you might be so handy so you might make a very beautiful flower from the first time. But as I said, I had students and it takes time, you know. It takes like, you know, maybe you would need to do 2 3 flowers um, before you will start making a perfect flowers. But anyway, if you will follow my directions, your flower will be pretty. It's not such a big, uh, you know. This flower is actually the one of the faster one to make, because we don't have to worry about much about petals. But still, you know, every flower has own way to do, different shapes of petals, different shape of centers. But overall, majority of flowers has base, has center. I mean, like for flowers for wall, base and center, and you know, we loop. Basically, it's a kind of a basic things to do any other flower. uh, it's the same way. I mean, like flowers for wall. But I will make actually I already made a video for flowers for on stem, with stem. But this flowers is I still working on certifying my video. So once I will receive my certificate of authenticity, I will post. I will post on Etsy um, um, this video as well for flowers with stem. It's completely different. Flowers with stem is completely different way to do them. But you know, everything is doable. Okay, now petals. Petals for Dahlia. That's the petals. That's what we need to create. 2 sizes of them, smaller and larger. I make flowers, majority of flowers, using 2 or 3 sizes. And I will show you a trick why I use only 2 sizes and my flowers is nicely curved and doesn't has like a you know, sharp edges. So let's start with the making them. So the first of all, you need to cut like this squares. So they are 4" to 3" 4" to 3". I will not show you how to cut. This video is not to teach you how to cut squares, but this square is 4" to 3". That's what we need. We need 22 of them. 22, 3" to 4". Okay, and we need 11 smaller ones, which is 3" to 2. Well, this one turn it like a 2 1/4, 2 1/4 of inch. So okay, one more time. 3" to 3" to, well, let's say 2". But it's a 2" and a little quarter of inch. Okay, so we need 11 of this smaller one, 2". 3" to 2 1/4, and we need 22 4" to 3". Okay, that's what I already pre-cut them, so it will be faster for us. Okay, so, and I'm going to, I already pre-cut even these petals, but I'll show you how I cut them. So I actually do a very simple way. You don't need a templates. You don't need the templates to make the like this petal. But if you need a template, I if I will not attach to this video, but I plan to I was not planning to attach to this video because it's so easy. But you can cut one and then using one as a template and cut the rest. See what I did? I just cut the edge of it. So when I open it, voila, that's what happened. Let me show you another one. So what I do, taking this, flipping in two like this way, or a longer way. Okay, so it will be like a half leaf, but it's okay. So and I cut edge, so making like this leaf, half leaf looking. So I open it and voila, beautiful. The hardest part, it's very easy to, it's not hard to cut them. As I said, the hard part is to cut them straight without making a zigzags, but you will learn it. Okay, and I will just show you few so you can, because I don't want to cut all you know, all 33 petals here, but in this flower it's only 32 petals, but I make a very large flowers where I cut like over 100 petals for each flower, but it's for a bigger sizes. For a bigger sizes you would need a you know, of course, more petals. So same I do with the smaller one. Okay, same way I flip in two like this, flip in two, and then I cut the edge. Okay, and one more, flip in two. This is not paper, it will not stay that strong, but I hold with my fingers and cut to the edge like this. Okay, so let's put this stuff out of the table. Okay, I usually don't throw away my cut-offs. I reuse them. I reuse them for some inside work. Okay, now let's actually build a petals. I will probably speed up. I will speed up this part because I will show you. I will show some, and then I will speed up because you know it takes pretty much time, you know, to do it. So again, once you flip, you will have a little like you can see the middle right here, right? So, or it's not really a necessity, but let me show you closer what I do. So I flip here and flip here like this. So I'm making basically this sort of a little like a baby a pocket, or looks like a you know, calla lily, but that's how petals should be, like this. I'll show you one more time, and then I glue it. I put glue, like how that you can see. I put glue a little bit here and a little bit on top, and flip this part like this and hold it. You need to hold it to make sure it's glued, because it takes some time. And I will show you another my life hack, how I do it faster. But first I need to show you a few. That's glue everywhere. You know, it's enough. You just need to hold for a few seconds. Okay, one more. So here's the middle. Honestly, you don't really need it if you can flip like this. Flip like this. Trying to make it that you can see better. Okay, and I put glue a little bit inside and a little bit on top. Okay, and cover it and hold. That's how it looks. I need to hold it for a few minutes. And now I'm going to show you how I do to not hold it for a long time. I flip it in between my other fingers. So I free my fingers so I can work with. Go everywhere. So, and I flip it. Put glue. Just a little bit, not much, okay? Flip. See, I press it with my fingers. Now what I'm doing, I'm putting here and I'm putting between these fingers. So I hold them. But again, you need to kind of, if you have strength on your finger, my hands worked a lot, so you know, I can do it. But this is my trick how to kind of save my time. So see, because I'm still holding it and pressing it. Even sometimes I do so fast. I do it so fast, and right now I'm showing it slow, but when I work very fast. And sometimes they're not even having enough time to cure, you know, so and I open it and they getting like open up. So okay, alrighty, so now I flip like this and do next. Okay, now I will shut down and we'll keep working, and I probably will speed up this part because um, you know, I don't know, unless if I will decide to talk about something else. But in this case I just need to make all these petals before we start them put together. Okay, now the first one going to the table. Okay, Okay, I made 22 of a larger size, like a 4 inches to 3 inches, and 11 smaller size, which is 3 inches to 2 inches, 2 and a quarter, but it would be like 3, just remember 3 inches to 2 inches. Okay, so petals are ready right now, and now we're going to start building a flower. So we have petals ready, we have a center ready, and we have a base ready. So basically we made everything that we need to start building a flower. Now it's the most fun part, but the most important part. So what I would recommend to do, this size of petals you can fit. Why it's 22? Because it will be 11 petals around, the like it fits 11 petals. You can put the marks and put like a, for example, at the beginning before you start gluing them. By the way, the first petal we will be gluing right here, making sure we're not gluing a loop. So when we glue, we will glue like this, making sure this is not still here, and we did not glue a loop, because that's how it will be, flower will be hanged. Another thing is, why loop is right here. Never make a loop here or here, unless if you want the flower will be hanged like this, because that's how flower will be hanged straight. If you will do loop right here, it will be bending like this, because loop right here, it will be bending. That's what mistakes I made at the beginning. They will be like hanging not straight, but they will be hanging this way, which is not always a good thing. And also, if you want they will be bended, you always can attach the hook or something to make it look bended, but it will be hanged bended. But I don't know anybody who want them flowers will be bending like this or facing down. So what because of a loop right here, flower will be hanged very, very straight and nice. Okay, now, so the first one, we're going to attach petals on this side and our ugly side, that we will cover with petals, and our back will be beautiful and nice like this. So how I'm going to glue, I will glue first layer, I will glue giving a 1/4 inch in between like this. And this actually, that's what we made, will help us to kind of to control. So we glue petals like in the same distance. If it's hard to you, you can draw a line, or you can put dots where you want to glue the petals before you start gluing it. But in this case, I will not measure anything, because I know that will be like 11 petals fits to this size, with this size of pre-cuts and everything. Okay, so, and I'm going to glue in, having it in between. The first layer will be 1/4 inch in between, and then I will show you why when I will be doing a second layer. So the first layer, we're gluing 11 petals. Again, if it's hard to you, you can make a dots and glue, or do like a pre-measurement before you start gluing it, so you won't miss kind of glue them. Okay, so I will start gluing them, and I already want to see this flower ready. Again, so what I do, see, I press, I hold it, and I work with the next one. That's my trick, but you don't have to do it. So, but and you won't be able to do it probably. But what all you need to do is just press and hold and wait when pedal will be nicely glued into the base. So like this. But since I want it happen faster, or if you're able to do my way, you're free to do it. So see, I'm gluing it and making a little gap in between, like a one quarter of inch in between. Okay, and you just glue them all around. You put glue on this side because that would be kind of a face of a petal. So glue goes on this part. Okay, make sure you're not gluing them upside down. That's the face, that's the back. Okay, I'm just telling this thing because I remember my students made the mistakes gluing upside down. So that's why I'm kind of telling you from my experience what could happen. Okay. Okay, and to make sure they glued well and nice, I preheat a little bit. This part is not necessity, but that's what I do, you know, to make sure all of them glued well and they will not come out. Normally I'm doing it standing up. But if I stand up, I won't be able, if you see what I'm doing. Okay, that's the first layer. That's the first layer. Not really fits into my so now you will see why we have these gaps in between, because the second layer we're going to glue petals in between in between this, in a little bit like a quarter inch down than our first layer. So but when we glue like even a half inch down, our circle is becoming a smaller. So that's why basically your next layer petals will be glued right next to each other. See, let me show you. Let me glue you, and then you will see the rest. You know the rest. So I glue right in between and about like quarter inch down. Normally I'm doing it standing up. It's more convenient to me, but the way my camera stands, if I will stand up, I won't be able to see if you if you see well. Where's my coffee? Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you what's happening. See, now I'm gluing in in between in between the first layer petals, you know, like they coming in between first layer petals, and like a 1/4 inch down from the first round. So in our second layer, see, they we glue it like one next to each other. If you glue like together the first layer, then this one you would need to overlap, and it will be too thick right here, and we don't want it. We want it nice and thin. Okay, let's keep working on it. In between, in between, in between petals, see, in between the first layer I'm attaching the next one. Again, see this two in between. Okay, and again, every flower has, the way is the same, but technique is different. I mean, like instructions will be different. So, but today we're making a dahlia, so that's how it goes. Okay. Okay, let me stand up and press a little bit harder. That's how I use my poor hands. My poor hands. But most of the crafters and makers and artists, we don't have a beautiful hands. But that was our choice. That's what we wanted to do. Okay, now let me show you. See how close petals like glues to each other? In the first layer we had a 1/4 inch 1/4 inch distance. Now see, we have no distance in between. That's a trick, you know, because if we won't do this little gap in the first layer, then this layer will be overlapped and look not pretty. But we want these petals look pretty and nice. All of them should be nicely freestanding, not like overlapping on each other, on top of each other. Again, I'm going to use a heat gun to make sure it's glued very well, so that my customers will not, when they receive the flower will not fall apart. So what I do, I preheat, I heat up only very edges. See, I heat only very edges, and because of its foam and it's melting sort of. So I press it when they're hot, while they're hot. I press it, and now these petals will not go anywhere unless you jump on them and just ruin all flower together. But these petals will not fall apart at all. Will be standing there. So now, time to do our last layer. This is a very smaller one. So we're going to glue them again in between each petal, but they will be almost close to each other, but we will not make any steps down. We will glue like on the same round, because this round we want for our center. So we're going to glue in between like this. I hope you see it, in between, but on the same round. not going down, not going up, but right and right for this round. That's we made the last, that we glue the last layer, second layer. Okay, again, glue. That I didn't show you how I put glue, just a little bit, not too much. So let me glue a couple and then I will show you. Okay. Sometimes they have a gap in between, sometimes not, depending on how close um, I attached them. See, that would be the third layer. So see, I glue them right on the, right by the edges, on the edge for a second layer. Okay. And again, make sure so you glue them in between petals. See, it goes in between these two. Okay, this one will go right there in between these two. Okay. If you will do larger flower, so of course you will have more layers, because for example, if your flower will be big like this, your petals will be bigger, and you probably will need to make like a 5 or 6 layers. So basically, and quantity of petals would be bigger. So, but as I said, you calculate. Your base is a half of a size of a flower size you want. For example, this is 12-inch flower, and I have 6-inch base, so half of a size. Petals, I have 6-inch, 3-inch here and 3-inch here, but we glue petals overlapping, so that's why I cut 4-inch. And because of the petals going up, you know, you cut them, and you know, you kind of losing a little bit of size, but normally 4-inch is just right. 4-inch squares you cut is just right to cut the right petals. So because a 1-inch is going overlapping to the base, we glue it, right? So you will have a full 3-inch, maybe 3-inch and a quarter, that's not a big deal. Full 3-inch, that is fills for a 12-inch flower. Okay, I mean, like, you know what I mean, like a 3-inch petals, 3-inch petals and 6-inch base. Okay, so all together 6-inch and 6-inch, you get having a 12-inch. Okay, so, and you cut petals 1-inch larger than, you know, like a size you need to fill out. That I'm telling you for, like, if you want to do different size of a flower, it will be same technique, just you need to pre-calculate before you cut foam. Pre-calculate, make this all pre-calculation as I told you. You know, if you did not understood, you can rewatch this video, re-listen this video over and over until you get all information you need, because I cannot repeat over and over. I understand I have an accent, but I think even if I speak back, but I think my English is pretty good. I just have an accent. But you still see what I'm doing. You see what I'm doing? The only thing I want to, actually, I'm not supposed to tell you how to calculate for different sizes, but I'm not being greedy. So I'm sharing. I told you I will share with all my tricks and hacks. So basically, if you want to make a different size, so that's the calculation I told you how to calculate for a different size. Okay, now center center go right in this circle that we have left. Okay, so I put glue right around the edges, and I'm gently pressing. Don't press too much, we don't want to break the center. Okay, but we need to press enough so its glue will that center will attach to a flower, will get attached to a flower. Okay, oh my god, so beautiful. Okay, I think it's good enough. Alrighty, voila, da 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 da. Let me show you closer. Let me show you closer this beauty. Okay, beautiful from the front and nice and beautiful from the back. And our little loop right here, nice, and so you can hang it to any hook or anything. They are very lightweight, and actually this is not the paper. Let me just make sure it's good. No, okay, let me put this one that is fresh, because glue is still fresh on it, but this one is just I want to show you something. If I press it, it's coming back to its shape. If I press it, see, it's coming, see, it's like slowly coming back to its shape because we already shape it. Okay, so if I put in a box like this, they will coming back to its shape because it's foam. And that's why I like foam, because if you do the same thing with paper, it will be trash. It will not come back to its shape. It will be jumped. And another thing is, you can spray wash, like a spring wash it if it will get dirty, or for some reason something get bad. So you can just with sprinkle, you can wash it and it will dry and will back to its shape. This is another trick why I cover see, I need to put a little bit more glue right here. Looks like I didn't hold long enough. Why I cover the base, the cardboard base, all the way with foam, because if you if you will for some reason will need to wash this flower, it will stay in the shape because foam will protect cardboard from getting wet and ruined. That's another thing why I cover cardboard all the way. But again, it's just in case if it will be, for example, some event outside and it's raining, so nothing will happen to this flower. Even if they will left on the rain, they will be just fine. But if you will leave cardboard open, not covered with foam, then cardboard will get soft and ugly, and so cardboard will, the flower will be ruined. So that's why I prefer to make a little bit more work, but I know for sure that my flower will stay in work for long time. So this foam flowers is actually, they are reusable. You can use them from like from one event to another event. They will not change shape or color, anything. And of course, but you need to still be mindful because it's still flower. Weather can ruin even the house. So just still needs a gentle care. And after event, just put them on a bag, and they actually any I use like large trash bags to keep them. So any plastic bag, it's a good storage for them. So I put like on the plastic bags, and then I put in a cardboard. That's how I basically store them and ship them. So again, they will not change shape, color, or anything unless you jump on them. Da 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 da. So one more time, looking for our beautiful flower on the back and on the front, and that's it. Okay, so if you have more questions, like, let me keep it like this. See, this one is a little bit uh the center is a little open, but I like actually how it looks. It looks pretty nice too. And this one is I cut them a little longer, but it's inside. So either way, you can do either way. Either way, they are beautiful. Okay, so let me hold like this on the loops. So back and front. Okay, goodbye guys, and hope my video was helpful and you will be able to create like this beautiful dahlias. Alrighty, bye bye. Okay, let me tell you bye bye. Okay, I'm here. Bye bye. Alrighty.